Hey, y'all. It's Kiki.
Was good, peoples. This hunt.
Question: How far do your friends have a say in your relationship?
I think they don't have no say in your relationship. But how far do they have a say in your relationship?
Listen, so Trina recently has made headlines. Her husband has made headlines for Trina's friend and her husband got to a spat. I'm guessing this is on Love and Hip Hop. I don't watch the show no more, y'all, but I'm guessing this is where it is. And so
Trina like the baddest bitch. That Trina. Just to
so
give you all the reference of which Trina we talking
Miami
about.
Trina. I don't know. Well,
Because, you know, the Braxtons, they think they're important too. So,
yeah, but child. But Trina and her husband, Trina's husband and her friend seemingly got into a little spat. Her friend said is trying to be overprotective, saying she just wants to know why Trina had got distance. In my opinion, girl, why'd you sit down with my man? Trying to check my man about me when you could have just talked to me, right?
in my opinion, mind your business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. But I'll let her go first because mine is, I feel like I'm finna be straight up rude about the situation. So,
The thing was, he wasn't rude about it, right? So the fact that he wasn't rude about it was, his communication was there because he checked her politely, what I'm saying, respectfully. He checked her, let her know this ain't it, this not that. I'm not him. Like
mhm.
that was cool, baby. That needs to be on the shirt. You hating on the marriage, but you hating on the marriage when the marriage ain't hating on the friendship. Like, what you mean? So for me, again, it's why would you not check with me first? If I've been distant, that's a me and you issue. That don't got nothing. You can't attack my husband or my and this not her boyfriend. Like this is her husband. So it was for me. Here's the thing: when you are in a relationship, especially when you start to be married, you have different obligations. That's why we talk about obligations all the time. Your obligation is now your husband. If you have kids, they start to be your spouse, right? So now that's where your obligation lies, it is you're going to become distant. Does that mean you have to forget about your friends? No, because I do not believe in doing that. Do not just forget about your friends. However, does the relationship change? It does. I don't have as much time on my plate as I had before took on this obligation of having a husband or him having a wife.
Yeah.
That's just the reality to it. God forbid, well, not God forbid. I mean, good luck. I don't know if y'all want kids. But if you end up having kids, that's more time that's taken away
Yeah,
from your
that's a wild
friends. Yeah, I'm
statement.
like, God
God
forbid
forbid you
I
have
have kids.
kids. Like,
That's not how.
damn.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's the you having to spread your time between so many different people, and all of the time you don't have time for that. It is months that I might go without seeing my friends, like physically seeing them. We may talk every blue moon. Like it'll be months go by that we don't talk. We try not to do that to each other. Like we have made active choices to try to speak to each other at least once a month, right? But that's something that has to be talked about. But I think people don't understand that it does weigh on you when the relationship just gets different once people start getting married and having kids and building a family.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of grown adults don't know how to navigate. They don't know how to know because now you are in a place. Now you use
Shut your mouth. Rock said it the best.
not know your role. We got to stop this.
It's the truth.
True. No, it is. I'm not negating that.
Because I get it. That's your friend. That's your bestie. All that stuff that y'all girls like to say. But for you to charge up her husband on what's his attentions, like that's some out of line stuff. Like don't come over here with that bull. Like that's straight up bullshit. That's malarkey. Don't come over here with that foolishness. It's straight up foolishness and it's childish. Like don't come at me like that because if I've been nothing but respectful to you, your friend group, to everybody around you, I don't need nobody coming at me with disrespect. And that right there was clear,
It
plain
was.
disrespect.
She got the
Like,
baby mama involved some type
and
of
that's the
way.
part that's worse than
I don't know how. Again, I don't
that.
watch the show, y'all, but it's just the clips that I saw. Right?
That's worse
Yeah.
that you chose to get his baby mama involved in some stuff that she don't have nothing to do with. So it's like, are you really honestly being a true friend? Because if you being a true friend, why would you put your best friend in a weird situation like that?
Yeah.
Why are you making a woman choose between you making your best friend choose between her husband and her friend?
Yeah.
Like who's more important?
Who's more important? And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be careful who you call your friend. Because I'm telling you, them single friends will keep you single. I keep telling people, you got to back away. Them single people will keep you single.
And I think
You
that's the
got to
hard
watch
part too,
that.
is the trying to have married couple like married friends and have a single friend.
Yeah.
Because your single friends sometimes can be very shady.
Yeah, like because they move different. They don't have anybody to answer to. They don't have anybody that they have to run stuff past. So if they're doing something, it's like, oh, we just
Because that also
nothing
go
to you.
into bitter friends too. That's
See,
worse. A
that's the
single
worst.
bitter
Bitter friend.
friend.
Yeah,
It don't
that
matter
you
if it's
got
on
to
a
get them.
men's side or a woman's side.
Yeah.
Like if you have a friend that's single and they bitter, that can put a huge strain on your relationship.
Yeah. No, that's true. Now, I think the bitter one, you just got to get rid of them all together. But the ones who are just single, you do kind of have to you really have to watch how you move with your single friend. And it is constant discussion because I remember when we first got married, like we was like more serious. And I've had to have conversations with my friends like, you can't put me in that type of situation. Like, I can't be nowhere as random niggas around because my dude think it's just us here. It's a girl thing. That's how I explained it. Some come out on the internet. My face is seen somewhere. It's people that I gonna be around is around. Now it's a whole situation. You can't be putting me in.
That goes both ways because, like,
Yeah.
with your single friends, that's just stuff that you got to tell them all the way around. Because stuff you do with your single friends gonna be much totally different than stuff you do with your friends, like in a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and that's why I tell people you have to. It's no shade to the single friends. There's nothing wrong with having single friends, but you do have to make sure you watch how you move with your single friends. You have to make sure that y'all are having those conversations and that you are uh that you're just having them conversations and it's open communication between y'all and that your friend ain't bitter. Because if your friend is bitter, you just might have to cut that loss because that can cost you your relationship. Because bitterness it can spill over. Now she in your ear telling you stuff about your man, trying to get you meet. Now y'all single together. Don't do that. I think you just got to cut ties. But it's nothing wrong with that. But that's why I started prioritizing having more married friends. Because I think you just need a balance. Again, there's nothing wrong with single friends, but you do need a balance of married people around you too. Because of reasons like that. Like if you have a situation with me, if it's something going on with me, please talk to me. Don't call my man up. Don't be doing stuff behind my back and his back. For what? We should be able to talk this through. That's downright out of line and out of order. I went through the comments of it, and a lot of people were saying that she was wrong. A lot of people did agree to that, but you have your son that was like, I see her point. She missed her friend. You can miss your friend, but that's it. You have to take that up with your friend. You can't personally be attacking everybody's husband.
Yeah, because that's
That's
wild.
okay.
When is it? When are we gonna grow up?
Yeah, that's a bit childish.
Like a bit. That's a whole lot of like that's a lot of childish, bro. Like
It is.
that's
They too
a
old.
lot of childish.
No.
That's for sure. A lot of childish. Like that's a lot of childish. You too old for that. Like, but some people don't grow up.
True.
A lot of people don't grow up.
Yeah.
And that's when we get these cases like this when your friend decides to want to overstep their boundaries.
Yeah.
So it's like you putting your friend in a situation to where she got to choose or be chosen.
Not.
Do she want to choose to be with her friend or do she want to be chosen, staying with her husband because she was chosen?
Yeah, like you sure listen, Trina has already came at before this, like just in general
Yeah.
about because there's been a lot of stuff going on between her and her husband. I don't follow Trina. I don't follow the him. She just keep popping her husband keep popping up on my timelines. Okay, so it's been a lot since they've been married that has been floating about her husband. Trina say she stick by her man, like my man, my man, my man. Trina say that is my husband. I'm gonna ride with him. I don't care what y'all talking about. Okay, and
As
she
she should.
should. Like, I don't. It's not. That's how. That is what marriage is. Like, I'm pretty sure she knows this. The way he communicated, what he communicated to her, it sounds like he's a good communicator. So it sounds like he's not leaving his wife out the loop on nothing he got going on. She know. Now whether she telling you or not, that's her business because she don't have to tell you. That's another thing too. You can't feel so entitled to your friend that you know all their business. When you married, it's a difference from telling you about my little boyfriends, my little boo things that we doing stuff with. But it's different when I'm telling you about my husband. I just tell you all my information on my business about my husband. Like
Yeah,
it's certain stuff that just off limits. I tell you when it's a do or die situation, if it's really something going on, if it's dire need. Other than that, girl, we not. It's just it's not a discussion. Like it's just I don't no longer need to tell you all my business of what's happening between us. Like
yeah.
because it's between us. Marriage is between the people in the relationship. That's what's the difference between girlfriend and boyfriend stuff. Your little boo thing, your little side piece. It's different. You can't be out here telling everybody your business. The friends have to learn how to respect where they are. And some people be like, well, if I was here before him, I'm gonna be here after him. Why does it have to be like that? Just take your spot behind wherever you fit in.
How about she get a man?
That too. That too.
That'd be a bunch of like people problems. They don't have a significant other, so they be in everybody else's business.
Yeah.
Because if you got a significant other, you're not gonna be whining and complaining about how when we gonna kick it, why we ain't hang out this weekend and stuff like that. Like
Different. Well, I different for females or men, but I know females have that attachment. So when you do start, maybe kick. Because again, when we got together, it wasn't an issue with everybody, but it was an issue. Everybody was kind of like, "You not never be around no more." Like, what? Like, you don't really talk. Like, it was. I treated the relationship different. So everybody, people didn't know how to take it, right? Like because usually my relationships ain't serious. I don't really care, right?
and until we moved into South Park when all my people stuff stopped coming over, all my friends. Because when we still stayed in the West, everybody was around the corner.
All the time, baby. I
Like
make breakfast for the whole
me and all my partners, I had
lunch,
one partner.
dinner, baby. Somebody was at the house.
My boy Pete was 5 minutes away from the house. And boy Marlon was, what's that, good 10, 15 minutes. But we was like right there in the same area. So it's like we kicking it all the time. Like we was kicking it.
And that's what I'm saying. It's different for dudes because dudes just come out. They be like, "Fuck it," like what I'm saying. Like it ain't fucking all day. Like it was really every day. I mean, so much weird. I was cool with it because I still had my own life, right? Like, and that's why I be telling women, have your own life, have your own hobbies. That mean y'all live together. So how much time do y'all realistically need to? I don't even be with you every day, all day. Do you? I'll be back because between work, hanging out with your friends, doing what you're doing got time worry about what he got going on. Really, realistically. But I know with friends, it's because I saw somebody in the comments say it was like jealousy, and he kind of said it too. And I'm like, it is a jealousy that kind of plays, but I don't always think it's jealousy because she's in a relationship. I just think women are territorial, so I think it's just that she's jealous of the time that she's no longer kicking, if that makes sense.
So she married.
I know, but I'm saying I do get that aspect, but it's a way that you handle.
Like, did she just like wake up and get married one day? Like, how long have they been? See, see, these are other questions that need to be asked.
Together a long time. I want to say they was together maybe a year or two before they got.
Yeah, so you had a whole entire year to get used to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But don't disrespect me by asking me what are my intentions with your friend.
Absolutely.
Because
Married.
I'm like, you said the key word already, your
Exactly.
friend. I don't have to answer no questions.
Yeah.
I don't like,
Gone. They gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? Like my best friend. Listen, from the moment she knew about you, she was like, oh, okay. She already peeped that I was treating the situation different than what I normally treat my situations. And so she already peeped that, so she already like probably assumed that it was serious. Then I popped up pregnant, so she knew like, hold on, this serious, like, cause she Kiki I don't do that, like this is this. So, but she never felt the need to be like, what's your intentions on? Because she just gonna watch, right? Like she just watching, like any sign of some shady shit. Damn you, she coming straight to me. Like, what's that about? You okay with that? Like, she's going to say it, but she just sitting back watching. And it's certain things I will disclose to her, certain things we'll talk about. Like I said, if it's serious, you know, if I need you, I'm gonna come to you. But it's no need to like charge me up over it, right? And it's the distance is understandable. Again, this is what females don't understand. When you have a man, I don't need you to do stuff with me no more. Like I got a man now. I don't need to ask you what you doing this weekend. It don't matter. I can do what I need to do with my man. I want to go shopping. I go with my man. I want to go to eat. I can go with my man. If I want to go to boot, I can go with my man. Like,
story is she need to get her a man. So
then y'all could probably double date together. But
yeah.
it's weird to be the third. Nobody wants to be the third wheel. Nobody wants to be the third wheel. I'm pretty sure, like, and she probably don't want to. It's not. It don't have nothing to do with you being over at the house all the time. We just be like, girl, if y'all been friends, and they older women too, so you probably used to coming over, kicking over the house. Y'all probably spending the night together, stuff like that. Like, cause y'all single, so it's not nothing like, oh, girl, you gonna spend the night. Cool, girl, you not spend the night up here with my man. No, ma'am. And it don't have nothing to do with trust. It's just nah, we not. We just no. I'm cool. It's just a boundary. It's new boundaries that's being set in place, and sometimes they take time to get used to. But coming for that man and that's not.
Mm-hmm.
We got y'all too old for. They really too old because they in their 40s, so y'all way too old for that.
Yeah, it is.
All right, moving on. Nelly and Ashanti. The sound of them. They showed you that he never been here for a good, bounce back. But them two, maybe it's the millennial nostalgia to it all. Like,
Shaking my head.
here for this typically do not recommend you going back. We move forward. But in this situation, these circumstances, I'm here for it. Okay, that man got on this internet and said he did not want to make her no baby mama, so he made a good woman out of her. That's what I'm talking about. Listen,
Choose the
that's
chosen.
the type of energy. That's the energy. It don't have y'all out here talking about. It don't. It's not that easy. Just because we had a baby girl don't mean we get married, baby. It don't have to be as hard as you making it. He just proved it.
If you had a baby girl, then you might as well get married. Ain't nothing else you can do.
Well, yeah, what is she gonna do?
You already done
Yeah,
did the ultimate thing. So it's like, why not? But that's a whole totally different story with that situation.
yeah, but it was the fact that he pretty much he respected her enough to not baby mama her.
Yeah.
Like he had that much respect to say, you know what, we wasn't there yet, we weren't really talking about it, but we here, and I respect you too much to do that to you.
Yeah,
So
she
let
a little
me.
too old to be a baby mama. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Being a baby mama in your 40s is diabolical.
It's a while.
Like,
You waited all this time for that. No, but I'm here for that nostalgia, and then I'm like, can't wait till the show come out because I'm gonna watch it. I don't typically watch reality TV shows, especially with celebrities, but that one I'm gonna watch. I can't wait.
but you just want to watch Nelly lick his lips the whole entire show because that's all he gonna do.
Really do.
That's all this nigga gonna
I'm
do.
saying Nelly is really not to say he hasn't
Like,
done well
this
through
nigga
his
just gonna be
age.
licking his lips the whole episode.
It's just Nelly. He a daddy, but he a papa at the same time,
Right.
baby. It ain't. Listen, that ain't never been my type like that. But
Oh, you don't want to buy the Jimmy Stone? Tell her bake me a grill. It's a different type of country.
no, I don't know what it was about him. He just never. He's a attractive looking man. I just don't. He just never been my cup of tea. That's all. It just I don't know what it was. I don't. It could be because he really friendly. I get that from him. Like he not. Maybe it's that part. He not aggressive.
But he don't look like no friendly ass nigga. He probably
He
just
does look friendly. He look mad friendly.
he probably do all it.
And then when he with Ashanti, he look mad because he always smiling. He be like,
Nelly's
"Get your
always
fancy."
smiling though.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's part of his. That's Nelly.
I know. That's probably what it is. I'm like, it comes off real friendly, and maybe that's not my cup of tea.
Yes, because he's in a field to where it's better to be friendly than be. You don't get to the level that he got by sitting out here being like an asshole. I mean,
Yeah. And
he was trying to be like the next LRPJ.
like he's one of the ones that I actually like personally. Like I like his personality. I like his character. Like his because he gives back a lot. He be real unproblematic, and that's another thing why I'm here. I'm living for it because them the most two unproblematic people. Ashanti don't be causing no. She don't cause no problem. She just be out here living her good life.
Chingy would say something different, but
We're not worried about Ching. Ching got his like, we ain't even gonna worry about him.
the real question of the podcast is who was the first person to say right there? Was it Chingy or was it Nelly?
don't know.
But nah, like on the real talk about that whole topic, like there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, these are like to a certain extent, these are the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of people, black, white, Asian, everybody. Majority of people, those are their steps. They get together, they mess around, have a baby, then they mess around and end up getting married. It's like that's just like that's the rite of passage to a certain extent. Like there are people that wait until they get married to have baby, but I think more people have babies,
Which I prefer.
especially the first one outside of marriage, and
Yeah.
they end up getting married.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with like, in all, there's nothing wrong with him saying that yeah he wanted that that's to be his wife. But it's like, well, duh, because wasn't he already married, or was he about to get married to the girl?
Thank you.
Nah, but I'm talking about when he just recently like. Yeah,
But
so this was a dude that already wanted to get married. So
well, I'm in a business like I was there. Let me rumor. The rumor was back then when they broke up, he wanted to get married. Ashanti did not.
but I'm talking about the chick that he was with all
Yeah,
that time.
but I'm saying like he originally he wanted to marry Ashanti. He been wanting marriage. He wanted
So
marriage
yeah,
back
so
then,
he
but
been wanted
she
to be
didn't
married.
want the marriage. She wasn't there. So cause she wanted to finish chasing her career. She felt like, don't start. Do not do that. Do not do that. Okay.
She thought Murder Inc. was gonna take her somewhere.
She said she wanted.
Ja Rule.
You need to stop because they gave us the best music. Don't do that.
Ja Rule, another Wale.
Yeah.
Made music for the ladies, but thought they was like
What would I be
gangsters.
without you?
Like,
What? Yeah,
like
stop.
they had their own lane.
They
But
did.
besides that,
Literally.
like, I mean, this is the man that wanted to get
And
married,
first,
and
she
finally
decided to
did it.
do her career, which again, what most people need to take from this is
That seldomly happens.
that seldomly happens. She chose her career, but what was for her was for her this time. She didn't sleep on him. It was like, I don't want him back. Because again, she got to see what that was about, and now she had to get up to a time in her life. Again, Nelly's a little bit older than her, I believe. So he had already had kids and did all of that. So he knew even when they was together back then, Nelly had already had kids. Mm-hmm. So he knew he wanted to settle down. That's why when he got with the last girl, it was real unproblematic because and he was engaged to her for years. I think they was engaged, but he never moved on marrying her. That was the thing, you know.
Nelly
But
50.
he 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's a little bit older than Ashanti.
Shanti 44.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That age gap, he was already kind of knew what he wanted. She wasn't there, and then when he got in the next relationship, he proposed to her too. But now she was at a position where she was ready. They circled back. They had a baby. He said, I'm gonna do right by you. I'm gonna make you my wife. I wanted to do this back then. We might as well, right? We here. He's like, we here
The
now.
more
We
of that
great. We
story
chilling. Like,
is
it
that
don't have
shit
to be
rare.
complicated. It's rare, but I think
Your
they
old
also
ass ain't finna like.
uh,
No, I mean we gotta be honest with the people. After a certain age, your old ass ain't supposed to be having babies. It
I,
don't matter if you froze them eggs, you put them up in a hyperbolic chamber. It don't. I don't care what you did to them eggs. The eggs is still however old you is. You
listen. I
shouldn't
don't
be
know
out
why you
here.
want to be 40 and pregnant. I listen. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know why you want to be having a baby at 50.
Because that's wild. You 60 years old talking about that's my baby walking across the stage.
You got to 68 before you done. Next, no way.
Almost in a wheelchair sitting there talking about that's my baby. Who is that? Like, yeah, that's my mama. Oh, I thought that was your grandparent.
I'd be like, food is not that old, but
It's not that old to get married, but it's old to have babies.
because she'll still be, she's 44, so she'll still be in her 50s. Nelly, however, is gonna be in his 60s. By the time her baby get older, she'll be almost 60, like 58 something.
I mean, the difference between that is that they
She'll be
got
right at
money.
60. That's true too. But listen, having kids, I can't imagine, baby. We live two totally different lives. But they also have had a whole lot of life to live before this, so maybe that's the trade off. They had a chance to live their life before this,
Yeah.
right? So it may be okay for them later on to just they don't need that because she's had it her whole life. The other kids then went to a period they grown, so maybe
Yeah,
they
he
have
got
passed.
a
It's a good
fuckload
trade
of
off.
money, so it ain't
Yeah,
like he out
so
here hurting to do some more stuff.
yeah, so maybe it's a good trade off, you know. But I love that for them. I can't wait till the show come out. I'm gonna be here for it. I don't care what y'all talking about. I love me some Nelly and Ashanti. I never tell people to go back, but when I heard about that, I was here for it. Because I knew it was gonna happen. I just didn't know it was gonna happen next week, but I knew that was gonna get married. I was like, yeah, it's finally gonna happen. I feel like I feel like teenage all over again. I was hurt. They broke up the first time. I was like,
Shaking
how
my
could he
head.
do this to her? Then find out you didn't want girl. It was just a whole thing. We was talking about it.
Mhm.
Nobody never liked his ex anyhow. We like that help. But no respectful. It wasn't you, girl. It just we knew that wasn't gonna work. He was meant for somebody else, clearly. But I love that for them.
So we got any more topics?
Um, we moving quite fast. I feel like we moving quickly.
Not really. We pretty much on pace.
We LL Cool J.
LL Cool J and his wife.
Yes. What's his last name?
I don't know.
You call,
LL
what you ain't
wife.
that girl? Let me look up your name. Give you your respect.
LL wife.
Simone Smith. Let me give you your
I was just
respect,
about to say
T.
Mrs. Smith. Like, shit.
Smith, yeah. Then Todd and Miss Then like Todd and Simone Smith. That was cute. Anyhow, I don't like that. You ain't just your husband, wife, or the whole name. Your name. So Simone Smith, LL Cool J's wife.
Ladies love Cool James, as they say.
Why is this Cool James if his name is Todd?
Because I think his middle name is James or some shit like that.
Todd James Smith, that's horrible.
Or James
Okay.
Todd Smith. It's something like that. But I think James is in his name. You can introduce the topic. I'll look it up.
Okay. So she did a interview, which
Yeah, James Todd Smith.
okay. Oh, okay, that's different. Um, cause she calls him Todd, but I get it. Who wants to call somebody James? That name is shit. Okay, anyways,
He is old.
clearly,
He 57. LL Cool J. Oh.
he is
Oh, bald head ass nigga.
Listen, so with LL, his wife did an interview recently, and she talked about pretty much her stepping into a wife's role, right? understanding that she had to make her house into a home, not on the hoop and holler with this man every time they went out because who her husband was, and the fact that she has an attractive husband, right? And she a regular again. This they've been together since forever. His whole career he been with her. He was with her before the van, right? Mm-hmm. So they blew up together. So for her on her transition, I can only imagine sees the things she had to go through and how that can. Whew, you ask for it, but then you don't really be knowing what that look like when you get there, and how she had to um understand she had to grow in her own faith spiritually to be the wife that he needed her to be. And I absolutely love that because I don't think a lot of people talk about that.
And let's not talk about it all.
That's what I'm saying. Like you never hear that part, and to say like, "Oh no, I was that girl." Like I'm gonna fight you, but then she had to realize like because she made a specific statement that stuck out to me of because I feel like a lot of people do that. We pray for God to change them, like fix them. You need to get him together, and then God turns around and get you together, right? And I tell people that all the time about marriage, especially my marriage. I used to be like, you gonna have to figure him out because right now it ain't about to be it. But then I started to know every time I said that prayer, something happened to me, right? So I had to, he adjusted me, he fixed me, got me together to be able to deal with him. So now my prayer is usually help me, guide me on how to deal with him, or guide me to how to talk to him about this situation, or confront, like, guide me to how to deal with him because I don't want to go into an argument. I'm not trying to fight. I'm just trying to gain understanding, or something I'm trying to tell him, right? Mm. Or it might be just something he's just doing to get on my nerves. So how do I do this without causing an argument, right? Not more so you need to get him. You need to fix him. Would it like because women do that. We blame the men. We be like, you like fix him, Jesus. And it be us sometimes, it be me.
Probably majority of the time, but you can keep them. Really? Just saying, like, if you're saying that every time the child decides to say to fix the husband, y'all the ones that need to be fixing, then that means that it's y'all. It's not them. It's y'all.
Song and that I have found. It's a gospel song. Really?
Better not be no Marvin Sapp.
We ain't even got that.
Like you talking about a gospel song, it better not be him.
Listen, no, it's in my playlist, and it's pretty much she says like teach me how to understand this man, right? I don't want my pride to ruin what you play, right? And she's talking to God. It's like a love.
Teach me how to love music, so child.
You. And I absolutely love that song. I heard it and I was like, people don't talk about this. So when I heard Simone Smith, LL Cool J's wife, say it,
Mrs. Smith,
I absolutely love that because we have to understand our role as wives. I think we think as a wife, we don't have things that we need to do, and it's a certain way that we have to treat our husbands. Sometimes just in order for you to get what you need out the relationship. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I think we don't always think about that. It's just like, well, I'm the woman. Like, I know I'm supposed to do this, that, and the third. It's surface level. Yeah, it's never the thing in.
Lacking. Lacking. Right. I'm agreeing with everything that you're saying. Are you? Yeah, that's what you're saying.
More. I feel tried. Like.
Don't worry, I'm trying all wives right now. Whoa. Pause.
Really now.
After I said that, I'm like, oh, that's a wild ass statement. That was diabolical.
So the name of the song is "Teach Me," right? By Lee Vasi. I'm not messing up your name, girl. It's a woman. Lee Vasi. Would you stop that? Teach Me, right? And I absolutely love the song. And so, and she also talked about a book that his cousin gave her. I think she said it was called The Praying Wife. I don't know, girl, but I need to read that book. Anyways, um, no, I just think that's something that people don't talk about, like your duty and role. We talk about what men supposed to do as husbands, but we never really talk about what it looks like to be a wife and how to deal with the men. Like, Mark,
Well, I
look at
mean,
it. I could you listen. This one, see what I'm
I mean, but I think the reason why it's like that now is because there's so many women that's not wife material, and y'all are like pretty much all the wives are online trying to tell women how to be wives instead of like being able to get deeper into what it means to be a wife. Because y'all can't even get past the front of the door. Y'all just getting in the door and everybody pushing y'all back out, telling y'all that y'all stupid. They don't want to hear that. So it's like, how come y'all go to the next step if the main people that y'all talking to don't even care about hearing the first step? So it's just more so maybe that'll come down the future, or maybe somebody might split off and take that part of it over so they can actually get the wives to rally with them by talking about that because that's another sector that hasn't really been talked about. But I can understand what she's saying to a certain extent because I mean, when you is like a good looking dude,
You really trying to
like,
you really
yeah, like when you're a good looking
trying to
dude, like I mean, the hoes be out there, so like she got to be a strong praying wife, like that's what she said.
She's pretty much saying she needed to be stable in herself. Whatever he gonna do, and I said this the other day. I was on a TikTok live, and I was telling them like, whoever, because that is something you have to learn to be right. For the most part, some people I think have it harder. Like they learn a lesson harder, and some of us kind of lean into it a little bit easier. But it's still a hard lesson to like come to terms with, like at the core of it what he does does not reflect me, right? Like she said, like if he gonna go out there and cheat, he gonna do it regardless. Me going to being on all the concert shows and me following him around, like ain't gonna stop the man from cheating or doing what he want. He gonna do it anyways. But understand how to be grounded and not like getting on him because a woman passed by him and said, "Hey, a little too deep. She lifted a little too wrong. You ain't we looking for you to like check like." Cause he can't like not unless it gets like downright disrespect. But women flirting and stuff like that. That's something, baby. Better than me. Okay, I'll tell you that. But I get what she's saying. She like just be respectful of me. But it's something that you have to get used to, especially like what he does, regardless of how he does it or what he does to me. I still have to be who I am. And I was telling somebody that on a live, and they almost didn't understand that. And it was like, I have to, like she said, my job is to make this house a home because home is where the heart is. So if I do my best and just focus on me and making sure I'm doing the things I need to do as your wife and making sure you have a peaceful place to come back to, whatever you choose to go out there to do is this that's now on you. That don't got nothing to do with me. God gonna handle you on that too, right? Women don't hear that. Women do not hear it. And I think honestly, men talk more about marriage than women do. You don't really hear the mothers telling their daughters how to be wives. Like having that conversation. Again, I had that conversation with my dad, not with my mom. A lot of women never had that conversation with their mothers. They say they may have watched her, but it's never a conversation of how you treat a man, what that looks like to be a wife, how you're supposed to navigate being. Because we get into it and we think we know what it is, and it ain't what we thought it was.
Nah,
We been
marriage is
thinking we
something
supposed to
totally
cook and
different.
clean and be cute and just. And that ain't all what it is. The surface level. That's like the very bare minimum of what it is. And it's like how you get into it. You like, now what is this? So it's understanding and hearing it from a woman's point of view, especially one who desires to do right by her husband.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I just love that she said that and gave a little bit of game. Because they've been married a long time. I think she said they married in like 95. He was like 4. I was like 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long time for them to still be married. They ain't had no crazy stuff in the headlines like in Chicken. But
Next time.
yeah.
I know the next topic.
What's the next one?
So the reason why this title was choose or chose is because Toya decided to want to get online and say that she could be with Lil Wayne if she want to. Mind you, she's a whole married woman. Taken with everything. She's a whole married woman. She want to get online and say that she could still be with her baby daddy if she want to.
Yeah.
So I said, is she being like she thinks that she's being chose, but she's not.
She thinks she has a choice.
Yeah, she thinks she have a choice. She really thought that she had a choice. Dead ass. She thought she had a choice. Like first of all, before we even get into that, what I think that women don't understand is that you don't really have a choice in like marriage.
Here to him. She.
Yeah, so therefore you're no longer anything. You're next.
I think. Well,
I think she need to get her shit together and focus up on her actual husband.
that.
I feel like she shouldn't be disrespecting her husband
No,
like that.
yeah,
Cause that's mad disrespectful.
about that. Cause as girl talk, we can do that. Like we be like, girl, if I can have it, if I want him back, I can have him, right? Like that shit that girls just do, right? We just that's a thing. But for you to say that out loud, and you know it's gonna get back to your hood, I would never. Like that's my sentiment and my thought. I can say it out loud so I know it's gonna get bad. Like why would you do that? I ain't got time for them type of problems.
She wanted to be.
Why are you thinking about it? Why is it on your mind? Like, and it's not. I get it. I'm just saying how you saying it out loud.
Cause that's clickbait. She wanted to be in the headlines. That's what that was.
You can't like. It's a little disrespectful to your husband.
A lot
I know
of disrespectful. It ain't a little bit disrespectful. She a lot of bit disrespectful. Like she hella disrespectful.
Well, her husband came out and he did he wrote a little post with a picture of him and saying he loved his wife. You moved to Blue Cloud.
If you did that, you look like a whole simp right now.
His wife.
I get it, but as a husband, if my wife disrespects me online, I'm not gonna be the one that put the post out. Post out. This is on your page. You supposed to put this on your page. Nah, I was joking. I love my husband. Married for X amount of years. Been through it all. But that's still my rock. Like, she's supposed to put that out, not him. But he put that out like he did something wrong. Nah, fam. Like, that was wrong. You shouldn't have to clean up her mess. Especially not that mess. I'm not saying that a husband is not supposed to clean up after their woman if they do make a mess. But what I'm saying is, if your wife disrespected you online, it's not your right to actually go online and try to clear that up. She has to clear that up. Because the same way she chose to say that, she could have chose to not say that. She could have chose to say, "I don't want to answer that question," or "Next topic, please." But because
Question. That's the crazy
so
part.
nobody asked her this, she just threw it out here.
Talk about
So she dry ass threw Wayne out there.
a little bit. Okay, so she didn't dry toss Wayne out there, but they talked about why she walked away from her marriage with Wayne, right? And she said this is because she said that, and that was a little bothersome, but I think that wasn't the part that was as bothersome for me. The part that was bothersome for me was the fact that she was like she didn't want to live in somebody else's shadow, right? With being who her husband was. And that's not the life. Like she don't want to live in somebody's shadow, and she wants to show her daughter that she can get out here and go make the money on her own too.
But have she made any money on her own? Because I'm pretty sure that most of the money that she has made has been off of a nigga's back.
I mean, I agree with that sentiment.
Right.
A lot of people know Toya and love Toya because she is Wayne's only wife. Wayne has never been married again. He's been engaged a couple times, but he's never took the plunger and actually walked down the aisle with nobody else. So I think she gets a lot of respect just for that alone. I think it has helped build her name.
Oh, you think it helped?
No,
Oh,
I'm
we
saying like
did.
that's what I'm saying. No, it helped build her name. Like helped make her who she is. She would not be anything without Wayne.
Mhm.
Right? That's just he gave you a big head start.
Mhm.
Okay, like so that's what that is.
Man, disrespectful.
You built yourself off the back of your husband because that's still your husband for one time. So yes, as you was planning to leave him, write your book and yada yada yada, you still built your name off of what y'all had been through together, right? So I think my thing was women ask for things that they really don't want. You want a man to be a provider, protector. You want him to be able to have you and got your back and all of this, but then when you get it, you don't know what to do with it. You don't want to be in somebody else's shadow. You going through your own identity crisis and you're not being grateful for the things. You could sit in that house and write your book and do all of these things because you had somebody who was taking care of you. You didn't have the stress of worrying of saying, I don't know when I'm gonna pay my rent. I don't know when I'm gonna have the money to pay my bills. I don't know when I can pay my car. Like you didn't have you was just chilling. Now I'm not saying Wayne was not doing what he was doing, but I'm saying it made it a whole lot easier for you to get your foot out the door and have a little something extra. And then you had as far as terms as a father and somebody who's gonna provide for you and make sure you were straight, he held up his bargain. Y'all both was extremely young when they got married. So yes, he made his mistakes. He did his stuff. He did his dirt. So did you, I'm sure. Because nobody's perfect. That I don't know her personally, but just nobody's perfect. So I'm pretty sure y'all both did stuff. It's not one or the other, but you built your name off of that, and still to this day, you get a lot of respect just because you still carry as being his only wife. Like that's just what that is. So you saying that if you want to be Wayne, you still could. We didn't need that. We know that he's never married again. That men are slower to marry. We know that. Like most men are not gonna fully walk down the aisle and commit. Will they propose? Yes, but will they actually get their asses down the aisle? That gets iffy, right? You've been married. This your third marriage. You got a lot of drama in baggage. Just what you're saying, right? So that man already has to come in and be confident in who he is because he know who your ex husband and your baby daddy was. Like he already know that, so he already know the comparisons is there. But he's okay in his own right, but he don't need the division with you talking about I can have like that is unnecessary, but I think it's more so saying that you didn't want to be a kept woman because I think those was her words. Do not quote me, but I believe that was a quote from her. She didn't want to be a kept woman. But I know for a fact, quoted, she did not want to walk in somebody else's shadow. She wants to be her own person. And you can still, we have to get out of the thinking that because we're married, we're no longer individuals. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where the concept, like, stop living through your mama trauma because she was out here being delusional. I'm sorry to tell you. That's probably what your mom was. Not saying all, son. Not you. Maybe you. Eh. So, like, not all, but some, right? Like, I think a good majority, especially if you're a millennial, it's a lot of stuff still coming out about the millennial parents, right? That's all I'm saying. So, with that, y'all just, you can't live through somebody else's trauma. Like, y'all gotta just, why be married? Like, if you don't want to be in somebody else. Your name is that person's shadow. I'm sorry to tell you, like it just is. You are now a part of that person. You're gonna be in the shadow regardless. Why do you? It's the competition that we create. That's what it is. It's the competition for no reason. You can still be an individual and be married. Mm-hmm. You can still be who you are and be married. If you will stay home mom, fine. That don't mean that you're not grinding, you're not hustling, you're not doing what God has already called you to do. It just means that why be out here busting your behind if you don't have to? That's just so stupid. That just don't make sense.
Speaking of something else that's stupid, Marvin said, I wish a pastor would lock me up in his church. I'ma smack that nigga in the church house. Well, because if you're gonna
Really
finesse
in the
people, oh yeah, if you're
church.
gonna finesse people out their money in that church house, then this ain't the house of the Lord.
He said, and I quote,
Ain't nothing about you kidnapping people for $40,000. You kidnapped your congregation and held them for ransom for $40,000. Dead ass, that's what he did. $40,000.
he said,
And what was the name of his song? Like
the best for me
you saw the best in me.
never would have made it.
He never would have made that $40,000 if he didn't kidnap them people.
Listen,
And we got too many dumbass people online talking about the church is supposed to be ran like a business. The Lord flipped tables over for less. Like, like y'all need to go read your Bible because in the Bible he don't tell you to run no church like no business.
he said in First Chronicles chapter 29, we find a powerful moment where David, preparing for the building of the temple, challenges the people to give. He starts by giving of his own treasures over and above what he had already set aside. Then he calls on the leaders to do the same. What happened next? The people gave willingly and generously. In fact, they gave so much that a record was kept of each gift. And ultimately, David had to tell the people to stop giving because they had that because the need had been exceeded. The Bible says they gave up gold, silver, bronze, iron, and precious stones. Specific amounts were recorded not because God needed their money, but because the people needed to show their commitment to the vision and because stewardship demands accountability. He said he was being a good steward.
So what did he put up there? Because if I read that the same way, I'm listening to what you said. He said that David said that he put his money out there first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after he put his money out there, he asked his peoples, meaning his, because I was just about to say all his niggas, but nah, not that. He asked all his peoples that was on his congregation with him to put their bread up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked the people to put their bread up.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvin Sapp never said what bread he put up. He just instantly told the people that they need to put this bread up right now. And on top of that, I'm gonna lock the door until you get up and so y'all can't get out of here. And y'all still going to these churches with these janky ass pastors.
Listen, I don't condone. I don't know nothing about the church needing to be a business. I don't know where everybody's getting it from because the church was never meant to be a business.
And that's not what
We
tithing
forgot when he
is.
also like again he did flip tables for less. Um, if we were all being stewards the way we were supposed to be, giving as in time, not just money, but also giving time. Yes, the church is supposed to be because I'm like everybody coming out with Bible verses, baby. Everybody coming out with the hidden the Bible verses to be like this is okay. Yes, the church is supposed to be what somebody said the supposed to be storage, the storehouse, safe house, something. Listen, the church is supposed to be where you go to have if you need a meal, if you need food, if you need shelter, if you need prayer, if you need protection, if you need that is what the church is, a safe haven. That is what it's supposed to be. My problem is when we're only asking for money as if that's the only thing that we can give.
My problem is
Or if we can only give our time to the church and not the community. It's too many churches. It's 2, 3 churches on every block. It is not a reason why there's not a community something going on at all times that people actually know about.
mm-hmm.
Like not the ones that y'all the do the little flyers and there's 10 people in there because y'all really didn't tell nobody. Y'all really ain't out here for people to see that the church is really out here doing something. if we was doing it the way we were supposed to, we wouldn't have a lot of problems that we have today. So using the Bible to say this is why you're asking for $40,000 because conventions cost money and churches cost money. Why does churches cost money when your church is tax free? I'm just saying. And then a lot of these churches also get paid from the government to preach certain things. We're gonna stop acting like that don't exist. Because a lot of these churches
It's under a 501c3.
which means they get paid from the government. And secondly, where's the $40,000 going? Like, where is it going? Because David also told them what it was for.
Maybe it's time for a new Rolls Royce.
Listen,
Maybe he gotta do
he said he
something.
promised that he would um help raise money, and so he was being a good steward um of doing that. It wasn't his intentions, but he said lock the door, close the doors because he needed everybody to pull out their money, and
Like a robber.
it's safe. He said he was trying to prevent that because he didn't want nobody to break in. He heard get crazy. So that's it. And if you really do think about it now, we'll agree with that. Anytime it's time for the offering to pass, the doors do close. It's just everybody know this happened. It's not something that's announced. The thing was, people, because first of all, this happened over a year ago. This happened July of 2024. So this happened about a year ago. And the thing was, people were saying that, don't know how much true it is, so do not come from me. This is what I heard. Rumor has it that the people had already gave. They had already tied. I guess maybe it wasn't enough. It was because
it wasn't enough.
So that's why he asked again. So, but if you look at the video, even the people behind him was a little confused. They was like, what you mean? What you doing? So
we
they were all
guns out and we finna rob. It's a robbery. Like, regardless of what y'all regardless of what everybody trying to say online, like he robbed this congregation. Dead ass, he robbed them.
Because it's not the community's job to take care of the churches. I think that's what everybody getting confused. It's not the community job to take care of the church. It's the church job to take care of the community by community. Like if everybody was doing what we were supposed to be doing, Jesus had a job. He was a carpenter. Mm-hmm. All his people had jobs. They were fishermen. They were carpenters. Like they all had jobs. Mm-hmm. The church was not their sole job. So any pastor, and if y'all are okay and pastor's only job to be a pastor, it's something wrong with you. And you can't talk to me about nothing really. I'm not listening. Mm-hmm. I'm just not because I find it funny anytime you come for certain people, the TD Jakes, the Marvin Sapps, any of these famous pastors and people performers that's supposed to be of the church and the pinnacle of the church and what it looks like to be a holy man and a holy person. Anytime something comes out negative about them, we turn a blind eye. And in the Bible, it also says, "Beware of sheep and wolves in sheep clothing." Mm-hmm. It also says to be aware of the people who will use my name. Mm-hmm. But do not live of my word. Like we have to be careful about being blinded about the names we gave these people. We gave them their platforms. We gave them these things, and now we kind of act like they can't do no wrong. Oh, well, if he did, it was a good reason for it. Oh, well, because he knows the Bible, he can give you a Bible verse. So could the devil. Like we keep acting like the devil don't know the Bible. He know it too. So just because somebody can give you a Bible verse does not mean that was justified. The devil took Jesus and gave him Bible verses that were legit Bible verses. And Jesus had to come back to him and be like, yeah, but it also says this, right? Like, it also says, do not tempt my Father. Like, he had to come back with him because, yes, the devil knows the Bible too. So, just because you give me a chapter in the Bible that, okay, is what you feel like you were trying to live through, does not mean that's what that was and that's what that should have been. I need people to stop saying that the church is a business. It's not. It never was meant to be a business. Nowhere did God say it was supposed to be a business. When they were trying to make it a business, he was upset about that every single time. So I don't know what we reading.
I know what they reading.
It's not, and if you're giving money, you have a right to know where the money is going.
Mhm.
You should see. It's too many broke down churches. Stuff is happening. Like the pastor here. Where has all the collection money been going to where you can get that church fixed? You can pay the insurance money, the insurance people to fix the roof.
Mhm.
Where was the money that had been being tied? Like, where is that money? Because we're not gonna act like people not in church every Sunday
Give
that are giving every Sunday.
multiple services.
Yeah. So where is all the money going? While all of the churches is like, we don't got it. We need your help. We need $1 million. Why you have $1 million church that you can't pay the tab on? Cause who asked for that?
Mhm.
I'm just again, yes, David did do that, but he also told them what it was for and what he was doing, why it was needed. And he was a steward himself because he showed them what he had, what he put up. Again, you didn't, and I didn't think about that at first. That you don't know what you put in.
Nothing. He put his hands in their pockets is what he did.
But I don't think that's
I
right.
find it funny that all these preachers that's like that, the only Bible verses they can quote is when it's time to run through your pockets. They can give you every single one of them.
They can't.
Every single quote, every single verse in the Bible that got to do with something where they think it got a little bit to do with money.
Yeah.
Oh, they gonna flip it and they gonna make you feel good and they gonna make you want to give your money up. The niggas ain't nothing but some motivational speakers. And there's only a handful of preachers that I sit there and like actually listen to.
Yeah.
Because majority of these bad boys out here be trying to finesse. If you in a mega church, I damn sure don't listen to you. And you ain't got nothing to say to me.
Yeah, because my thing is how you gonna listen. I ain't got time for the saints to come for me. Like
I mean, if the
how
Saints want to come marching in, then let them come marching in. You the idiot sitting there giving your money to them church to them pastors, and they finessing you. You sitting over there in the Toyota Camry, and your pastor going back to his house in his helicopter. Oh, I need a helicopter because I got to get from this church to that church, and you know the Lord don't like it when I had the people wait for me to come up there and give them that message.
if you're a pastor and you've been blessed, cool. Especially if you're doing something like you have other revenues to make. Like this is not your only job, right? Like you do this on the weekend. You do this, when you do it, but you have a job.
I know how they cover it up.
That, but I'm not okay with the pastors whose sole job is to be a pastor.
They
You
finessing
telling
the
me
system.
words that I can learn for free. You telling me words that Jesus isn't.
The thing is, what they're doing is they're hiding behind motivational speaker. So when they show that they have these millions of dollars, they're saying because they're going to
Yeah.
other people's churches and they're being motivational speakers.
Yeah.
And then because they're saying that they're a pastor, they're doing it, they're filing their money under the 501c3, so it's tax free. So it's a finesse.
Yeah,
It's just because I choose not to want to put it out there all the time. That don't mean I don't know what they doing. I know what they doing.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Like that's exactly what they doing. But you can go on and give your money to these people and let them ride around in Bentleys and do the finest of things and make sure that their kids go to college while you got to struggle to get your kid to college. You got to struggle to pay your bills, but they not struggling to pay their bills. And I bet you if you go ask them to help them pay them bills, they're gonna tell you gotta get put on the waiting list and they'll never get back in touch with you.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna act like that. That's why I'm like, I wish a saint would say something about that. Because what did your pastor do for you when you was in time for need? If your pastor ain't never helped you out when it was in time of need, ain't never helped out nobody for real in the church, not somebody that's a cousin of the cousin, this person that's cool with the deacon, so that's why this person got help. Because we're not gonna act like that they don't pick and choose who they want to help. We're not gonna act like these pastors don't put people up on these pulpits and they want to sit there and make people tell out their whole heart and soul and tell you every single thing they did wrong so they can sit there and shun you.
Yeah.
We're not gonna act like these pastors don't sit there and pinpoint and pick and choose which sermon they want to preach today so they can make you feel bad about not giving them money.
Yeah.
It's too much other stuff going on in the world, but the only thing they can talk about is the good side. And that's money in their pocket.
And I say this too. Stop, because I've been seeing it a lot. Stop making people feel bad because they have church hurt. I'm starting to see a lot of bashing go on behind it. Okay, well, you can't stop let that stop you from going to church, and your church hurt is like you got to get old. Like I see a lot going around about church hurt, but here's the thing:
There's no such thing.
say it's no such thing because I am a person who have experienced church hurt. I grew up. I tell people all the time I grew up in the church. I stopped believing in the church around the time I got pregnant with Santana, and I saw how they treated me. And I had went to that church since I was a little girl. That was the only church I went to here, and it was in I had a church. But so I do feel like I went through it. I don't think that's the only reason that I don't go to church per se. I think that I feel like a lot of pastors are scamming, and people be like, "No, that's not true." It is it is. I hear a lot of horror stories. I hear a lot of people who maybe would swear on the Bible for their pastor. You're not supposed to be doing that, but it is people that will that be like, "No, my pastor, you gotta try my pastor." Listen,
Nah, I'm cool.
cool beans. I love that you love your pastor, but I think y'all need to learn how to give people grace. Meet people where they are. Like, stop blaming the people who got hurt by the church by, well, people gonna hurt you. That's why you're not supposed to put your faith in me. So why am I here? Like, because they're supposed to be here to do a job at the end of the day. I don't really care about the human side of them. Like I get that they're human, but they are also people who say they dedicated their lives to the Lord. So I don't know that, and I can't see that this is what's happening. You live your life based off of how you live in your life. I don't want to be a part. And I know people be like, well, nobody's perfect. I'm not asking for you to be perfect, but I'm asking you if you're going to get up here and preach a sermon, your life should reflect what you say you live in. It's not about being perfect. It's about living in what you say because you can look at my life and my life reflects the things that I say. My life reflects what God has for me. I'm living what I'm supposed to be living. The problem is a lot of preachers and pastors are not. A lot of people talk about in the church being the way of the world when a lot of y'all has made the Bible of the world. Women don't respect the fact that you're not supposed to be preaching. You're not supposed to be the forefront. You say that, y'all upset, but that's not what it ever said. You making it, you spinning it. A lot of pastors feel like if you can't lead your household, he put specific. The crazy part is he have whole chapters in the Bible, whole books where he put his rules square blank. Like y'all be making it seem like the Bible is just so hard to understand, and certain parts is, but when he's laying down his rules, he make them very plain and clear. It first starts at home. It first starts with your marriage. It first starts with you being a good steward of your own family, and then you extend out to the community. It literally says. So if you are not a pastor, if y'all are not a church that's out here doing things for the community and are out here trying to change people's minds and like live of the word, it's too many people hollering God, 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 and your life does not reflect God. Like the things that you're doing, how you're moving, how you're acting, like the decisions that it's just not reflecting. And again, it's not looking for somebody to be perfect. But the thing that scares me with Christians is they tend to not feel something can happen. They're like, oh, like everything. If I talk to you and everything come out your mouth is a Bible verse, I can't relate. Sorry, you call me what you want. Because where is your human? He didn't ask us to imitate him. He asked us to walk with him. It's a difference, and it's too many of us who are out here. He had emotion. He struggled. But you don't hear about that. You don't hear about how God struggled. You don't hear about how Jesus struggled with his mission and his calling. We don't hear about how he was wavering with his own faith. We don't hear about how his mental health was struggling. We don't hear about he was sad for people. Y'all don't talk about that part. Y'all just be like, oh, he knew his reason, he walked in. That is not what happened. It was human in him too. But we keep up this facade of you just gotta keep walking with the Lord and he gonna make you better. And no God, yes, know God's word, but still be human. Where's the feeling and emotions? Like, stop blaming people for having church hurt. Stop blaming people when we should be blaming the pastors who created it. We should be doing better at getting them out of there and getting people who are really honest, who's not meaning to lead people astray on purpose. Because a lot of these people are doing it on purpose, and that is the problem.
But with that being said, I'm Hunt. This is the Hunt Life Podcast. Join us on another live. Next week, we will have the podcast be dropping next Thursday.
Yep, next Thursday, new episode drops. So y'all stay tuned for that. In the meantime,
Hunt Life.
live dream.